Well, we will go ahead and get started then. I was praying earlier on what to say, and so if it's not good, it's not on me. So, um, what I wanted to talk about is I feel kind of like at this moment that we've all went to a lot of trainings. Most of us that are on these Zooms, we've been to a lot of trainings and we've heard a lot of what to do. And now if we seem kind of stuck or we don't know what else to do, I think now is when personal growth is really, really important. So that's kind of what I'm going to talk about tonight, is because that's where I'm at right now, is I'm really focusing on personal growth. So that's what I train on. Wherever I'm at is really usually what I'm training on. So that's the way that I know to be the most real. So that's what I'm going to do. So the first thing I want to say is something that I wrote down a long time ago, and I don't even remember who, Harrison, I don't remember, but I was going through all my notes, and something that really stuck out to me was the Plexus products and the business both, they offer hope and freedom, right? We can all agree with that. That hope and freedom are two things that Plexus gives us with the products and with the business both. And so whenever we are presenting the products or the business, that we need to keep that in mind, that we are offering hope and freedom to people. So that takes the pressure off of us, that the pressure of, well, I wonder if I'm bothering them, or these people have to order, or like the pressure of people ordering like right then, and just of whether we're bothering them or not. If we can go after it with the concept of we're offering them hope and freedom, that takes all of the burden off of us. So that's what I always like to think about. So that way, whenever someone tells me no, or that it's not their time right now, I'm okay with that. They're not ready for hope and freedom right now. So their time will come. And I just think of, okay, no is always means not right now, right? Most of them always come back around. And even the ones that quit, that take it and then quit, most of them all come back around and get back on Plexus. So just take the pressure off of yourself. You're just offering hope and freedom. So the next thing is the law of attraction. I've really been studying that, and I absolutely love it. There is a YouTube video called What Every Billionaire Knows. And whenever you're finding it on YouTube, it's a picture of a jet like flying in the air. You can see it. And so watch that. It's about a 30-minute video. So whenever you get a chance, it's Earl Nightingale that's doing it. But if you go on YouTube and type in Law of Attraction, What Every Billionaire Knows, it'll pull right up. I think it's 31 minutes long. It's one of the best videos that I've ever listened to ever, because it's changed the way that I think. And that's basically what it's focused on. What you think, you attract. And so that kind of describes why if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, or your alarm clock goes off late, and you start off the bad day, usually if you start off with having a bad day, you have the whole bad day. The whole day is something wrong. Or the opposite of that, if you start off super, super happy, usually the rest of the day is super, super happy. And so that's kind of the reason behind that would be that's what you're attracting. When you wake up and you're on the wrong side of the bed, you're thinking negative, and so that's what you're attracting. You're attracting negative things to you. And on the opposite of that, if you wake up super happy, you're attracting happy things to you. And so that's kind of how your whole day goes. If you watch the video, it makes a lot more sense. Along with that, switch over to your goals, like things that you want to happen. If you want, let's see, one of the things that I want is I want to be able to pay all of my bills and still have $10,000 left over in my bank account. So what I'm doing is I am closing my eyes. I'm thinking about that happen. I'll close my eyes and I will visualize taking, because I have two accounts. I have one that all my bills, that I put all my bill money in, and then one is just for me, everything that's left over. So I'm visualizing taking all of the money out for my bills and putting it into that account and looking at my personal account and seeing $10,000. I can't think about it without smiling because it makes me so excited. So I'm thinking about that, I am visualizing it is the next important thing, and feelings, how you feel whenever that happens. So take your goal, visualize it, think about it throughout the day, and think about how it will make you feel and stir up those own feelings inside of you. And that's what you will end up attracting to yourself. So the next thing is success is hidden in your daily routine. So there are some people that are super, Molly Orr is the first one that comes to mind. She's super organized with her day. She will literally write out what she's doing every single minute of the day. And she will, what? Oh, I think there's a couple people that aren't muted, Mom. Muted. I said that weird. Did you get it? Okay, I'm just going to keep going. Success is hidden in your daily routine. So Molly Orr is the first one that comes to mind, and she has everything written. I've seen pictures of her planner. She literally has everything that she's going to do that day down to the minute organized out. And I'm not like that. That's not my personality. Some people are great at that. Some people aren't. I'm not. Mom's not. So what I'm starting to do, and what I would encourage you to do, is I think there is power in organization and being able to plan that out. So what I'm going to start doing instead is I'm writing down goals for myself each day. So tonight I will sit down and I will write out what I need to do tomorrow. Contact so many people. If it's a certain person that I need to contact, I will write that down. Anything that I know that I need to do the next day, I'm writing it down. And then the next day, whenever I get those things done, I highlight them so that I know what all I've gotten done. And so then the next step is going to be putting them in order. So I will write my to-do sheet, just in order of what I need to do. And then the next one, so do you see what I'm doing? I'm slowly planning out my day, and then I will be able to go back and do it like in times so that I can know what time I'm going to be doing each thing. And that way I'm slowly morphing myself into organization, even though it doesn't come by me naturally. So I've already noticed a whole lot more income producing activities that I'm doing because I've been putting a to-do list on myself. Okay, let's see. I said that. I want to say this real quick. It's just kind of a cool little saying. If you change your words, you change your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, you change your beliefs. When you change your beliefs, you change your behavior. When you change your behavior, you change your results. And when you change your results, you change your destiny. So we're starting by little things, changing our words, then changing our thoughts, then our beliefs, behavior, results, and then we change our destiny. So we can accomplish anything that we want to accomplish. The next thing, always asking yourself, how can I exceed my expectations? What can I do today that will make me a little bit better tomorrow? That is in everything, in your business, with your health. I believe I'm making small changes in my health with little things like that. There's a bunch of gaps that John Maxwell teaches, and he'll say, like, this is where you're at, this is where you are, and this is where you could be, and there's a gap in the middle. So I'm going to go through those gaps real quick. The assumption gap is the first one, and you are assuming that you will automatically grow. Well, if everyone on this earth just automatically grew, then we would all achieve everything that we've ever wanted. We would all be millionaires, right? I mean, if you're automatically growing, then that would happen for everybody, but it's not. It's an intentional. You have to be intentional about growing and do it on purpose. So the next one is the knowledge gap. I don't know how to grow. Well, that's the best part about it. I mean, is we teach ourselves how to grow, and then we get to learn, and then it ends up happening. The next one is timing gap. It's not the right time to grow. If you always wait for the right time to do something, you're never going to get anything done. So make yourself a point to start today. Don't start tomorrow. Start today. There's something that you can do today to start growing intentionally. The mistake gap. I'm afraid of making mistakes. If you stop yourself because you're afraid of making mistakes, that is the biggest mistake that you can make. Because I think of the book Failing Forward, and I haven't read it yet because I have a stack of books already, and I'm committed to reading those first before I buy any more. But I like the idea of that, of failing forward, because with every mistake or every failure that we make, we always learn something and we always become a little better. So mistakes can be a good thing, and always learning from those mistakes, learning from our own mistakes from our upline or other people around us. The next one is the perfection gap. I have to find the best way before I can start. That's kind of like the timing gap. If you are waiting for the right time, you'll never get started. And if you're waiting for the right way to do it, you'll never get started either. The inspiration gap, I don't feel like growing. That kind of goes along with the same thing. If you're happy with where you're at and you don't feel like growing, then okay, that's great. But if you want to be somewhere else, if you have dreams and goals to be farther along, then you're going to have to go beyond your feelings and get outside of your comfort zone and do it anyway. Life begins outside of our comfort zones. So I know for myself and for everyone that I've talked to, as soon as they do something that is outside of their comfort zone, two things happen. One, they're like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And the second one is there's always something positive that comes out of that. They always grow a little bit. They're always willing to do it again. It's always usually a good experience. There's always something good that comes out of it. The next one is the comparison gap. Others are better than me. Comparing ourselves to other people is one of the worst things that we can do. Their team's growing faster than mine. They have more PV than I do every month. Nothing like that. We are all on our own journey, and that's why we are all independent ambassadors. But so that is the biggest thing. Stop comparing yourself to other people if that's you. You are wonderful, and you are the perfect you that you can be. So as long as you're working on you and as long as you are growing, then you're going in the right direction. And the last one is the expectation gap. I thought it would be easier than this. If network marketing and personal growth were easy, everyone would do it, right? Everyone in the world would do nothing but network marketing, because I always say that network marketers are the most self-aware people that there is. Successful network marketers are the most self-aware people that there are, because there's no way that you can be successful in this business without facing your fears and without personal growth. There's no way that you can do it. You have to intentionally grow, and you have to be better than you were the day before to get there. There was something else that I wanted to say. So yourself, it was really good, and I'm not really sure where it's at. You need to ask yourself, okay, if you're at a place right now and you feel like you're stuck in a rut, the first thing that you need to ask yourself, if your team's not growing, my team's not doing anything, my team's not growing, are you asking your team to do things that you aren't willing to do for yourself? If you're asking your team to do things that you aren't willing to do, then you need to step back and take a look at that, because that's not fair. That's not fair to them, and really it's not fair to your business either, because you're kind of sabotaging your own business, because that's not, if you're wanting them to work the business but you're not putting any effort into it, it's not really going to go super well for you. So that's one thing that I want you to think about. And the next thing I want you to ask yourself is, do I have a fear of success? If you are stuck in a rut, there's a lot of times that you will get so far and then it's like it will all stop. And a lot of times it's because you have a fear of success. It's like that's where the self-sabotage comes in, and you think, well, I'm not good enough to drive a free Lexus. I'm not good enough to be making 5 figures a month. It shouldn't be me. Why should I get this whenever there's other people that are starving? Things like that start going to your head. Either I'm not good enough, or why should I have all these blessings when somebody else has nothing? That's something that, if that is you, you really, really need to take a look in the mirror, take a little bit, and get over that. Because in this business, this is the best opportunity that you can get. You do deserve it, and you are helping people. I had a friend that she was really concerned about the money. She felt bad whenever she got customers because she felt like she was taking people's money. And so I asked her, I said, which person do you think has saved more lives or has helped more people? The ambassador that doesn't have any PV and doesn't have any customers, or the diamond ambassador that is making tens of thousands of dollars a month but they have all these people under them? And it's a no-brainer. Of course, the diamond ambassador with thousands of customers or thousands of ambassadors under them have helped more people along the way. And that's how you need to look at it. You're not taking money from people. These products are not expensive. If you think that they're expensive, or if you're having trouble with the cost of the products, then go to on my Facebook page. I just shared a video about, some people have seen it, a video about a lady answering, her name's Brenda, answering, is this expensive? And basically she got her life back because of Plexus, and she's saying, no, this is not expensive. She has comparing the cost of the products versus the price that she was paying on her life, because she wasn't having any experiences with her children because she was so unhealthy. So that was way off track, but I guess maybe someone needed to hear that tonight. So that is basically all that I have. Make sure that you're not self-sabotaging, because you deserve success. And with every dollar that you make, that just means that one more person was helped. So that is something that you need to definitely be aware of. And I think that that's it. If you're not praying over your business, you are doing yourself and others around you a huge disservice. So start praying for your business. Start praying for your customers, for your ambassadors. Guys, we are changing people's lives with these products, and it brings tears to my eyes just to think about it, because there are so many people that are praying every day for the answer that we have. And if you don't understand that, and if it doesn't give you goosebumps when you think about it, you need to really get into some testimonies and start reading some of the things that these products are doing for people. Because we have in our hands a product that is changing lives every single day. And if you are inspired by the testimonies and by the products that we have, then you need to check your pulse, because this is something that is just amazing. God has dropped it. I think almost all of us can agree that God has brought these products to us, and God has brought this business to us. And so I think it's a shame, and it's a disservice to ourselves and Him to not take it and run with it as far as we can. So that's what I will leave you with tonight. Mom, do you have anything that you want to say?
I see that Kara has her hand raised, so let's unmute her. Go, sister.
I just want to tell Abby and everybody that's listening that Ron and I met AbbyJo in August of 2013, and from that time until today, I can see enormous personal growth in you, sister. Enormous personal growth. I mean, I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored that we were brought together with this amazing gift called Plexus, and I just want you to know that you are an outstanding leader. Everything you said tonight touched me, and I hope it touched others, and I'm so proud of you, and you are growing by leaps and bounds personally, and I'm so proud of you.
Especially in the last 6 months.
Thank you so much. That means more than you know.
Well, it's huge. We mean it.
And with that, I'll say that guys, it's not necessarily the end goal, even though we all are going to be diamond. It is your journey. It is your process. It is your progress as you grow. The individual that you become in the process is bigger than any title or amount of money that we can make each month. It's the person you become along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I feel like a better person. I feel like a complete different person than I was even 6 months ago, like you said, Ron. And that's the beauty of it. I want this so bad for all of you guys too, because that's what I've been saying recently. Put Plexus aside. Especially if you are struggling in your business, put Plexus aside and work on your personal growth. Buy books, watch videos, and work on your own personal growth and watch your business transform. Even if you are putting nothing into it, work on yourself, and everything else will fall into place.
Well, and the biggest thing I see is you have to decide what you want out of this.
That too, yes.
You know, it's like any business, whether it's a mattress factory or when I had a TV and appliance store or rentals, it doesn't matter. It's what do you want to get out of it? You know, do you want success? Then you got to find out what it takes to create the success. And training, I went to a lot of training and seminars for the appliance business. It's the same thing here. This is so much easier because you can sit at home and get trained every day by somebody if you elect to. And it just doesn't get any easier than this to do a business. So that's what I got.
I agree 110%.
Well, AbbyJo, I have a question for you that I'd like for you to answer for us. Okay, so what happens when you have really, like you have a really good friend or maybe a family member or someone that you think would be on board or they need the product really bad? What do you do when that person is not on board? And maybe they even laugh at you. Maybe they even run some things down, you know, about Plexus. Tell me how you work through some of, or tell us, not me, but tell us how you work through some of those things.
On all of you guys' other screens too. She froze on mine. But uh-oh. Oh, you're back. Okay, were you done with your question? All of you guys froze for a second. Okay. What I would do personally is, actually, I have done this. I have an aunt and an uncle that they're not on board, and so I'm living this right now, and I am confident that in a couple of months that I will have a completely different story to tell. Right now, I am, first of all, I do not get discouraged one bit that they are not on board. So I think that's the very first thing that you need to do whenever that happens, because like I said, this is hope and freedom. Some people aren't ready for this journey. Some people are very, very comfortable not moving and not growing because that's what they know. So I want everyone to be very aware of that, because most people are very comfortable being stagnant and staying the person that they are. So that is okay, and that is not on you. So the first thing you need to do, I think, is remove yourself from the situation. Lori talks about she used to get really offended by some things that people would do, and it was like she was like dragging that along with her everywhere she went. It was like a bag that she had to drag, and finally she was like, you know what, I don't think that I want to drag that anymore. And so that's something that you need to do, kind of release them from that situation and release yourself from it. And then from then I have an affirmation. It says, my aunt and uncle love Plexus. And so I say that every single day. And I believe that with 110%. I can see them on board taking the triplex and the X Factor every single day and shouting it from the rooftops. And I can see that in my head. I can see it happening even though it's not happening right now. And so there is not 1 ounce of me that believes that they will not be on these products. And I don't think it'll be very long, and they will be on the products. And you know what? We might see them at convention next year. So that's what I do, is I make an affirmation for it. And that's another thing. If you are somebody, I was talking about, if you feel like you don't deserve to be super successful, make an affirmation about it. I am worthy. I love myself. I am confident. You know, those kind of things. I said that to myself for a long time. And before long, what do you know? I wasn't even nervous about coming on tonight. So, and that's a big thing for me. So anyway, back around to it. Make an affirmation for it. See it in your mind. See those people loving Plexus and supporting you, and being exactly the opposite of what they are now. And feel those feelings that you will feel: excited, relief that they are getting their lives back, that they are choosing to better themselves. And then watch it happen in real life. That's my answer to that. Yes, Josh? Mom, unmute Josh. Oh, there he is.
I just wanted to add one thing to that real quick. I had a buddy of mine who I thought would be like a rock star at Plexus, and I reached out to him about it a while back, and he had the complete opposite reaction that I thought he would. He's he's a real smart guy. He's going into medical stuff, so he's real big into like health and stuff. But he was just completely against Plexus because he wanted like scientific evidence, like scientific journals and that kind of proof, rather than just researching the ingredients and stuff like that. So right off the bat, I was a little discouraged, and I was kind of embracing that mentality of kind of just let him go and move on to the next person. But I actually was talking to him about Plexus last night, and we started talking about like anxiety and depression and how those are linked to gut health and stuff like that, because he's had depression for a good portion of his life. And he actually, right there while we were sitting, he went and pulled up this scientific journal of depression, and he actually found that it is true, and it is like linked to your gut health. So I started talking to him about the probiotic, and he was talking about like probiotics and stuff, and I was talking to him about the enzymes and how they help the probiotic actually get down into your system before it starts to work, so it doesn't die off. And he said, well, that's one of the things that like our professors always talked about with finding a good probiotic. So now he's actually interested in learning some more information about the probiotics. So this is a guy that I had almost given up on. So that moral of the story is, it's not always no, it's just not right now. So that's all I wanted to add to that.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm so excited. I know who you're talking about because we just talked about them not too long ago. That's awesome. I'm so excited for you. Ma?
Does anyone else have anything? No? Oh, Kara does. Yay. I'll let you in. There you go.
Terry, can you put a hat on? That's blinding me, buddy. That's not what I had to say. No. What I was going to say was the people that want clinical trials and things like that, do a little bit of research on who pays for clinical trials. And they may or may not listen to you, but you as an ambassador need to know that clinical trials are paid for by insurance companies and pharmaceuticals, the same people that are pushing the medications that they would rather you be on. So you're going to get a lot of pushing back on this from people that don't believe this way, but do your own research so you can be, so you'll know when people bring this up, because it's important to know that the FDA and the pharmaceuticals and the insurance companies, we're up against a big giant, but nobody's bigger than God. And I totally believe that. So just be informed about that when you get that objection from people, because you will get it a lot.
Great word. That's very, very, very true. Very true.
And I love you, Terry.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyone else? No? Okay. Well, AbbyJo, Why
Michelle
don't
has something. Stop ignoring her.
ignoring who?
Michelle.
Oh.
Unmute Michelle.
Okay. I can't see her on mine, and so I didn't see that she was wanting. Okay, hang on. Let me find her. Oh, there she is. All right, she's unmuted. Well. Okay, go, Michelle.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, Michelle. Well, wait a minute. Why is she? Hang on. Oh, there.
Oh, there.
There.
There. All I want to say is basically that Plexus comes back around when you are helping people or even helping other ambassadors, and you think, well, I'll just tell you the story. Basically, I did a vendor event, and I was talking to a lady, and she said, oh, yeah, I've heard about Plexus, and I from a friend, and she says, I see her posts and things like that, and she says something about that she watched all of her posts, and I gave her some information on more information one-on-one with Plexus, and then the next day she went back to that ambassador and signed up as an ambassador, not a customer. And, you know, I thought to myself, wow, that's great, you know, and I got a thank you from the ambassador telling me thanks for visiting with her and thanks for sharing what you knew that got her on board. And, you know, some people, and there are people out there that as ambassadors think, wow, you know, maybe why didn't I get her, or, you know, can be kind of that competition thing. But I just sat back and thought, you know, this is going to come back. This is going to come back and help me later. And that was on Sunday. She signed as an ambassador. On Monday, I had a new preferred customer. And this preferred customer told me, I'm only taking these products for a month, and then I'm signing as an ambassador. So it does come back around. And I just was elated, you know. So I just have to say that helping each other will come back, and it will help you in the long run. So don't get that negative feeling that, well, why couldn't I? Why didn't she choose me? You know, but it will come back, and people are watching. The customer that I got from this and is going to be an ambassador in the next month said, I've been watching you. You look amazing. You're glowing. I don't know what you're doing, but I want to be just like this. And she said, I'm ready to do this, but I've been watching you. And so they are watching. And that's just a great testimonial for me, because sometimes I felt that nobody is paying attention to me on Facebook. Nobody is watching what I'm doing. They're just going, oh, there's that Plexus person again, you know? So it was very rewarding. So that's what I have to say.
Awesome. 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 You know, I went back and watched last week's deal, and I wish I could take credit for it. Totally wish I could take credit for it, but it come out of my mouth before, well, I mean, it was God, because it came out of my mouth and I didn't even know. But as I went back and I watched it, you know, one of the things that I said was, is we're not in competition, we're in completion. And so, you know, being able to complete each other and to help each other just like that, Michelle, I mean, that is amazing, because the truth of the matter is that lady's life is going to be changed totally. And it was because you took your time. And it's not about us. I mean, it's about them. And when we make it about them and we build us up in like the personal growth, like what AbbyJo's talking about tonight, then everything else falls into place. I mean, everything, it just falls into place. And yes, we have to put our hand to the plow, and yes, we have to be there. But it is, I'm telling you, I am so excited about this journey for each and every one of you, you know, for our family and the bigger family. I'm just excited for, you know, for everyone. So does anyone else want to say anything? Because y'all know how I am. I can talk all night long. Ronald, you just sit back there and hush. Don't you have just room for one on your screen there, Kara? AbbyJo, would you, oh, yes, ma'am, Kathy. Wait a minute. Well, I can't see you on here. Can you unmute yourself?
Got it. Thank you. Rocky and I went clothes shopping this past weekend to the thrift stores because I'm cheap. But I was thinking while I was talking to the cashiers, she was asking, you know, Rocky brought up the fact that we got to buy new clothes because we've shrunk so much. And I was thinking about my business cards while we were talking. And when you hand somebody your business card, take a look at yourself and see who you are representing. Are you representing a strong person? Are you representing a noble person? One that deserves respect as a business owner? Because if you are a slouch, act like you don't really care, when you present that business card, do you think they're really gonna look at that business card or your website? No, they're not. I was thinking about that and I thought, you know what? Maybe I sound sometimes like a sales pitch to these people that I talk to. And I thought, you know, I'm going to take my level one downline people and I'm going to get their cards and I'm going to hand out their cards for a while and see if it makes a difference with me. Because when you present your card to someone, they're looking at you like, oh, you're just a salesperson or whatever. But when you say, hey, my friend got me involved in this, and here's her card, I thought, you know, what better to do than lift up your own team than yourself in that type of situation when these people are looking at you like you're just a saleswoman. Who cares what you have to say? I'm not listening. But anyway, I was thinking about that while we're in the store. You know, I was in a thrift store, and yeah, you see a lot of people that don't have the money to do much of anything, let alone buy clothes, even in the thrift store. So who am I? Really, I'm a business owner, and I want to be able to help people with my products, even though they can't afford what they have. I want to be there to help them because they need the help and they can't afford it. For the past 3 months, I have given a bag of Slim to several different people, 3 people in the past few months, just because they can't afford it. I can't afford it. We're living off of our Plexus is paid for by our check, finally, but I want to help them. They need it. So I put myself aside and say, hey, look, I know these products work. Look, I've lost tons of weight, tons of inches. I'm smaller now than I was in high school. But I want to help people. Forget me. And that's my word for today.
And I think that was great, Kathy. And I want to add on to that, tithing or whatever word you want to put for it, whether you're giving it to a church or you're giving it to someone else, it's the same thing. And like you giving your Slim whenever you're saying that you don't really have the finances to do it, you're doing it anyway, and you will be rewarded, I believe, greatly for that, because that is something that it's a biblical principle, you know, and that is something that is that is absolutely great. And I encourage all of you to do and pray about it and give what God is putting on your heart to give, whether it be product or money or clothes, anything. Whenever you give, you will get back tenfold.
AbbyJo, will you pray with us before we go?
Okay. God, I just thank you for this amazing group of people. I thank you for putting Plexus in our lives and for showing us how to grow every day in you and just as a person and as a business. And I thank you so much again for putting Plexus in our lives and putting these amazing, amazing people in our lives. I just speak abundance into our businesses, into our lives, and into our finances, and that we are changing lives. I speak amazing testimonies to the people that we talk to. And whenever we talk, people listen because they see our passion and they see our heart. And I speak that over every single one of us, that we come with it with a pure heart, and that people notice that and they see our passion, and therefore they want what we have. I thank you that you show us how to be better leaders and better people every single day, and that we just continue to grow every single day. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, baby girl.